Well, I think first of all you want to be in a position where you're modernizing your marks and having something that tells the history of Illinois athletics, but also something that appeals to 17-year-old kids. And I think those things were very important. I think also the fact that we have a consistent look, we have a uniform look, and that we're all really singing from the same sheet of music, so to speak, as it relates to our look when we go out on the field or the court or whatever the case may be.
When they showed you their initial presentation for what they wanted it to look like, how much did it change over the course of the 3 months?
Well, it evolved. It evolved over time. I don't think they were too far off even in the beginning. I think some of the things that you really played with to a certain extent, maybe for example, was the Victory Shield, which I think is really, really awesome. But I think that was certainly something that's new. The other marks, the fonts, as they call it, the Fighting Illini font is new. The block eye, certainly we have a lot of equity with the block eye, and I think when we talk about the past and the present, that's something that we want to retain. They've tweaked it a little, rounded some edges, and that's really the extent of it. But some of it evolved over time, and we had different looks at things and maybe made some adjustments. But once again, we're really pleased with the final outcome.
Mike, we've seen that they have the Fighting Illini logo or mark. Will we see that on a uniform?
The Fighting Illini, the Victory Badge?
No, the Fighting Illini. We've only seen Illinois on the uniforms at this point. Will we see a Fighting Illini?
Oh, sure. I think there will be different opportunities as time plays out, and you also have to remember we only saw a select number of teams wearing their uniforms tonight, so there's a lot more to come. And like I said, we're really excited about it. I know the kids are excited about it, and we'll trot out there next fall and we're wearing different uniforms. I think it'll be a lot of fun for our fans and our alums as well.
Is the Victory Badge in the running to be at midfield or at center court?
You know, there's some places from a facility standpoint where we will use the Victory Badge. Our coaches really like the Victory Badge. I mean, obviously you can tell Janet Rayfield, for example, is a big fan of the Victory Badge, as it's sitting right here square on the front of the soccer jerseys.
Yeah, right.
But no, I thought that was really well done by the Nike folks.
Mike, you and Todd both used the word mark a few times, which is short for trademark. And in terms of the font, you've basically got two choices: whether people can download it and design with it in their own word processors, or whether you're going to protect it from public use. Do you have any idea whether it's going to be protected or usable at this point?
Well, no. I mean, all of our marks are trademarked and protected. That doesn't mean that folks can't do things with it that maybe wouldn't fall under the appropriate set of rules. But that's why you have licensing. You have people that police those types of things. But you know, I think they've done this. They have a real history with this. And to come out with our own font and our own marks for Fighting Illini, I think is pretty special.
Do you know if people will be encouraged or able to download the font into their word processor or wherever they write?
Yeah, I don't know that, Rob. You're speaking way above my head, but I don't really know the answer to that.
When you took this job almost 3 years ago now, this obviously the State Farm Center renovation, of course, Assembly Hall then was one of your big projects. Was this one of the top of the list when you took this job? When you looked at the graphics, the design, the uniforms, was this one of the top things on your list when you kind of looked at the university?
Well, I wouldn't say it was. Can't say it was necessarily at the top of the list. Was it on the list? For sure. Felt that we really needed to take a look at how we're branded and how we're marketed, and that to have equity in your brand, that you have to have a consistent look that you build over time. And certainly, as I said earlier, we have some equity with our block eye, so you want to keep that, you want that to grow. But as it relates to our other teams, for example, we had teams that didn't have the same font, didn't have the same numbering system, and now we'll all have the same look when we go out on the field of competition and when we go to practice each day.